There we go. We're live.
Yes.
Are we?
Yep.
That was quick.
I believe so.
Well, guys, I hate to break it to you. There's only 2 more weeks of the regular season. One of the fastest seasons we've ever had in college football, it feels like.
That is very true. Holy shit, it's went by so quick.
It's flown by.
It feels like 3 weeks ago we were talking about week 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's depressing, man. I'm bummed out. And we got the best games of the year still ahead of us, and I'm already having it's over. You know, I'm in funeral mode.
Look, some people are looking on to basketball season.
Some people are. Me being one of them, usually every year. But I still hate to see football go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Grant. What's Auburn's record right now?
They are hold on. We're going into week 11, so they're going to be 5, 6, and 4. 6 and 4.
Now, if I was to tell you before this season started, new hire coach, as bad as last year was, going 2 weeks, you still got 2 weeks left and you're already bowl eligible. You can't tell me you wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, I do think Freeze is doing all right.
Yeah.
I think he. I know I probably wore you guys out saying this, but I do think Auburn finally has a legitimate, whatever that may mean, head coach. It's been the first time in a long time for me since Tuberville.
Well, I think you kind of nailed it before the season started. Like he's always seemed like he was an Auburn fit.
Yeah.
Before he even got there.
I remember telling my friends and you guys a long time ago, hell, 3 years ago, when they was looking for Harsin, or when they ultimately when they were doing the coaching search that led to Harsin getting hired, I always felt like Freeze was going to be the guy. He just needed. I just felt like he was going to wind up at Auburn. It just seemed like Auburn needed help. He's had a troubled past, and Auburn, sometimes has been known to make some boneheaded decisions, and it just seemed like the perfect fit that Auburn was going to do that. Hopefully Freeze don't embarrass the shit out of Auburn, but we'll see.
Well, the most impressive thing about the Freeze hire to me was, one, he's already bowl eligible. You could see he's starting to make tracks in recruiting already. But the biggest thing was they hired him and was able to negotiate to keep Cadillac on staff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Cadillac had a big name after those 3 games. People wanted Cadillac at lower schools.
Yeah. I think he'll help to get recruits in there as well. So,
yeah,
just the history he has with the school and this way his mentality is. I mean, how could you not want to play for somebody like that?
Yeah, he's kind of the glue that makes everything stay together, and the vibe is just different. It's just nice to. I'm just ready to be competitive again. I'm tired of getting. It's been a rough 10 years. It's been rough.
Well, either way, like I said, I think it's a successful first year. You're already bowl eligible. You got 2 weeks left. You gave Georgia its hardest game. And then at the end of the year, you're beating a top 10 team. Like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Beating them or
I don't know about that.
Let's not go too far.
Count you chickens a little too early there.
What all right, so I like the bigger picture, okay?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. I'm already having a hard time containing my excitement for the matchup between y'all two in 3 weeks. All right. So if Auburn does have some magical, and I hear it all the time, Auburn's got some Indian burial ground vibes going on there, and crazy shit happens. If Auburn beats Alabama, that's going to take a lot of the shine off the SEC title game to me, and I really don't want that to happen. I mean,
I don't think it does, because looking at it, as a fan of one of the teams, I'm sure Hoss will feel the same way. Even if Bama loses some crazy way to Auburn, people are still going to tune in to watch Kirby versus Nick.
They will. But don't you think it'll turn the volume down just a couple of notches if Bama were to stub their toe?
I mean, you said this in our text thread a couple days ago, and I'm like, shit, that would just throw the biggest wrench. Is if Auburn beats Bama, Bama beats Georgia, does any SEC team get in?
Well, it's seeming like the playoff committee is not wanting to let Bama in.
Even with a win over Georgia.
Well, I mean, it may change, but I mean, they're putting a lot of stock in that Texas win.
Now
still.
you're kind of like me. You're a diehard SEC guy, right, Hoss?
Well, somewhat, but I mean,
Right. But it's the best conference. You do love being in the SEC.
right.
So as an SEC fan, just go ahead and just let us win. That way, one of us can get in. You can just sit back.
No.
No,
I think if Bama wins, they're definitely
they got to be in. It's the best win of the season. Like that win is better than. I mean, it sounds weird to say.
Mm-hmm.
Them beating Georgia is better than Texas beating Bama. It's just that easy.
If Bama beats Georgia, somebody's getting fucked, and it ain't Alabama.
It ain't gonna be Bama. No.
Somebody will be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How many of the now perfect teams have a chance of staying perfect for the postseason?
Not Washington or Oregon.
No, you got really.
Washington,
Florida State, Georgia, and then either Michigan or Ohio State. The ones that actually have a chance to stay perfect.
Florida State will get the shaft if Bama beats Georgia, I think. And Washington does. See, everybody's assuming Oregon's just going to beat Washington in the rematch. What if Washington beats Oregon?
I think Washington goes down this week. I mean, we'll talk about that later.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
I don't know, man. It looks like, I mean, Georgia, the only thing Georgia's got going for them, that the reason they got moved back to number one is they're very back end loaded on their schedule. Then you match that at the end of it with Bama. So, like you said, if that is a close game and everybody starts falling, yes, you still could get two SEC teams, but I just don't see it right now.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to try to not let that happen.
Yeah.
I think if Bama beats Georgia like in a 24-23 type game, I think they both get in. Yeah, they're going to drop Georgia from number 1 to like number 5.
Hear me out, though. Like we said, let's say Florida State runs the table. And let's say Ohio State beats Michigan. Michigan's already out because that schedule is just dog shit. Like, there's no part of it that you look at and, oh, that's strong. Nothing. So you got your two teams right there. Bama would then get in. And at that point, you got Georgia, Washington, and Oregon all on the outside looking in, wondering who's going to get that 4th spot. Now, that's leaving out. That's also Texas on the outside.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I think they're going to try to make a case being this is the last 4-team playoff. They're going to try to get as many conferences represented as possible. Who's got that noise?
What noise?
I hear like a fan. Oh, yeah. Hoss, whatever you got going on in the background. It's kind of loud.
I don't know. I can try going out and come back in.
All right, buddy.
I hate Michigan.
I do too.
I think they're a fraud every year. And maybe I'm just biased. There's just certain teams that I want to see in there every year that I feel like are credible. And I think we're all that way. And Michigan's just not one of those teams. I feel like they're taking up space.
Here's the thing, though, is like
probably got a lot to do with that beatdown Georgia put on them a couple of years ago.
It could be, but I just even looking at Ohio State, man, if they played in 2 weeks, I don't know who I'm picking to win that game.
I think Ohio State might be better than Ohio State's kind of sneaky good this year. I don't know. I trust them more than I trust Michigan.
Yeah, but the funny perfect now, Hoss. The perfect thing about Ohio State though is they finally get a defense. It came back a little bit. They finally get a defense. And here, I'll try to help you out. They finally get a defense and now offense.
Can you bump it, Hoss? Like, it seemed like when it was quiet, and then when you hit your table or whatever, it came back.
I didn't really touch anything.
Perfect.
There it is. Perfect.
Hoss, how you feeling about that? Hoss, Michigan versus Ohio State. When that happens in 2 weeks, who do you have more faith in?
Oh, definitely Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh. See, I'm 50-50, man. I feel like Ohio State really ain't got much of an offense. They're really just relying on one receiver.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
They're quietly good. They're like you look up and they've had more impressive wins this year, right? Okay, the Notre Dame win
Penn
don't mean a lot now.
Penn State.
I mean,
they're really in the same boat as Michigan.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you know what? At this point, if it's a trust, I guess I'm just saying I trust Ohio State more than Michigan.
You
I don't
trust
know why.
Ryan Day more than Harbaugh.
yeah, I mean Harbaugh's already proved he's a cheater. So I mean,
Fair point.
and he shouldn't really be able to come back and coach any. I know that's the thing he's fighting for right now, but I think he should have to sit out the rest of the season.
My thing is, so I think if I'm Michigan, like an athletic director at Michigan, I think they're looking at him going, okay, if you don't win out, and I mean get the whole championship this year, after all this shit you just put us through, we're kicking you out. And if that's the case, there's a lot of jobs opened up for next year.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have what? A&M, possibly Michigan, possibly Arkansas.
Yeah. Mississippi State's open. And I'm sure there'll be others.
Now I know there's a lot of candidates out there. Like you got Jeff Fish, you got your coordinators like Schumann and everybody else. Who do y'all see as the perfect fit for A&M?
There.
Hoss, you're on mute, bud. Okay.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin to me. I think they go woo Lane Kiffin away. And by the way, Trenches, last time we met up and we did this, let me just ask you: are you happy? Do you feel like Michigan got? Again, dude, they're not going to penalize teams on championship runs.
Yeah, but they're proven guilty. That's the problem I'm sitting with it. Like, okay, you're found guilty or else the punishment would not be there. But that's the only punishment you're given. That's where I have my problem.
Yeah, they're looking at it like, you got to take the money into consideration. A lot of people's pockets stand to get a little lighter if Michigan's not in this thing.
And I know you said Lane for that job. I get it. He's a great name. I don't know if that's a step up for Lane. Money wise, yeah, but like program wise, I think it's pretty vertical. You might as well stay there and hope to God that Bama might want you in the down run.
I think it's safe to say somebody from Georgia's staff might be wanting an opportunity.
Schumann would be the only one to go.
Yeah.
All right, who else?
Kirby?
Bobo's been hired at 3 different spots. He can't head coach. I think that's kind of proven.
Right.
The only other person we got on staff besides Kirby, and Kirby's not leaving unless it's a pro job, is Muschamp. And Muschamp's not a good head coach either.
Yeah, he's already had a go at a couple of places. So.
I could definitely see us losing Schumann, though. Schumann's a great coach. But as a first head coach taking A&M might be a little bit above him. But Arkansas, Mississippi State could work.
Yeah.
I could tell you who I want to see take A&M, and y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but to me, college football has not been the same. Give me back Coach or Ed Orgeron in fucking A&M. Yes, I miss Ken. He's one of the funniest fucking characters we've ever had.
Yeah, he was
A&M winning.
I don't see him getting a chance like that. No.
To me, LSU's a bigger program than A&M.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the whole way he went out. I don't know.
A&M's always.
I think he's going to have to work his way back up again if he wants to get another shot.
Then maybe he should get a cowbell. start hitting up, 500-pound guy. Calhoun hitting it up.
He's got plenty of money to spend. I don't know if he's going to be pushing
I
too.
think if the right
much on
position
it.
calls, he'll come a running. Because I think he
Could
misses
be.
football as much as I miss watching his press conferences.
Mhm. All right, so a name I hear that for all the big jobs. I mean, I've got a lot of Bama friends that I work with, and they're all over Dan Lanning's nuts.
I don't see him leaving Oregon after this year.
Has he really earned those stripes? I mean, Oregon's doing the same thing they've been doing since 1992 or 98. They put up a lot of points, high flying offenses. How many titles do they have to show for it? They love to go for 2 on every touchdown. They've been doing that since Chip Kelly was there, even before Chip Kelly. I don't know, man.
He's a defensive coach, and he just took Georgia's defensive style that Kirby did and ran with it to Oregon. But what's impressed me about what Dan Mullen has done is he has stepped up the offense. Like he's running that West Coast style offense really well. Something that Kirby doesn't do.
Well, when I think Dan Lanning and I think Oregon, I do not think defense first. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I know I watched a podcast the other day. I don't know if you ever watched Snaps with T-Bob and Aaron Murray.
No.
Well, they had another guy who's a big-time A&M YouTuber. Never heard of him before. But most of the Aggie fans are wanting Dan Campbell, the head coach from the Lions, who's an ex-Aggie player. That's who they're trying to push for. I just, he's actually, Lions are about to make the playoffs. This is one of the best seasons the Lions have ever had. You really think he's going to take a step down for his alma mater?
Yeah.
Yeah. A&M, if they really want to get in the game, they're going to have to do something dramatic and not make one of these boring coordinator hires. They're going to have to do – we hear about how rich they are and how much money they got. Well, show us. Go out there and get bring old the Florida coach that's been in retirement. Bring old Urban out there. Roll him out there.
Here's the problem, right, with that A&M job. We know what's about to happen to the SEC next year.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to take that job out of retirement. It's the same problem with Coach O, right? Like, I get it. He's not going to take it. I just think he's hilarious. You really want to come out of retirement and have to play Georgia, Bama, Texas, Oklahoma, Auburn, LSU in one season? And you don't want to fucking do that. It's got to be a coach who's getting established somewhere else that could step up.
Well, I got news for all the teams in the SEC West. Unless they move Alabama out the motherfucker, ain't no that shit is staying in Alabama's grasp. You know what I'm saying? Like this Saban chasing that's been going on for 15 years, they can keep doing it. And yeah, my school's been guilty. I say my school, but Auburn's been guilty of doing it themselves. I don't know what A&M and Arkansas and possibly Arkansas. They haven't fired the guy yet, have they?
No, he's still on the staff there, but
well, I hate to break
they're at least talking about what they would have to pay him. The talks in the air. But
I hate to break it to you, Crandis, but after this year, Bama's not running the SEC West anymore.
They're not,
because it will not exist anymore. SEC West and SEC East are gone.
Yeah, well. As long as Bama's in the league, there's one spot of the top 2 taken. So
yeah, absolutely.
And here lately, Georgia. So everybody else just needs to get in line.
Now, hear me out here. I know this is not going to be popular, but we were talking about possible coaches to fill some of these. I know last night I was kind of talking to y'all about some of the quote action games that was going on, but Toledo's head coach. Jason Candle, he would probably be a good fit for the SEC because he's done a tremendous job there at Toledo. Now, granted, they're not competing for national championships, but I think if he was in a program that had that, step up there, I think he could probably, develop players similar to other SEC coaches.
You know who I really think, too, would work as well, Hoss?
Who's that?
No one's mentioning the guy, but when is the last time you've seen Washington in the playoff picture. Washington's not an A-rated school, buddy.
They're not.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's an A-rated for that guy.
Oh. Somebody needs to go get old Doug Peterson out of retirement too. A&M spending all this money to fire Jimbo. And yes, he was a dud. He ain't worth the money he got paid. However, A&M's going to spend $100 million to get all this shit done. Are they going to see any better results on the field next year?
I love that an Auburn fan is talking about how pissy he is at the buyouts on another coach.
Thank God they did it because we got upstaged. They blew ours out of the water.
Yeah, they did.
We thought ours was big.
That's a big chunk to have to pay somebody to leave.
Yeah. I just don't see their I don't know. A&M's kind of stuck in the middle.
Well, we touched on it here and there, but I got to get y'all's thoughts on this. The Arkansas might be firing Pittman. Does anybody think that shit makes sense?
No.
I think he needs more time. I mean, and I think that if they can keep most of the players that are on that team right now to get them to stay one more year, I think we'll see a totally different team this next, that they have another year of development. I think it'll be a lot different than it was this season.
Who does Arkansas think
can he do that? Can he retain these players and get them to not, try to go because quarterbacks, I forget his name now, but he's been one of their stars, and I think
he can stay.
He can stay another year, and I think his draft stock would be better if he stayed another year.
Just watching Granger's face when I said he could stay.
We've had enough of KJ Jefferson. Oh my God!
All right, so we all know what Arkansas is. They're a middle of the road, bottom of the pack SEC team, right? Mm-hmm. Listen to this. I'm gonna go back from all the way from their bowl game last year to their schedule this year, and you tell me which games they should have won that they lost. So Liberty Bowl they played last year, they beat Kansas 55-53.
Mm-hmm.
They open up this year, they beat WCU 56-13. Then they beat Kent State 28-6. We all know, Kent State's a lower school, but they're kind of like App State. They're a higher level low school. They lose to BYU 38-31. Okay.
That one they probably should have won.
Yeah, I think they could have.
All right. So there's one game. We're looking at one game so far. They lose to LSU by 3 points at Death Valley. They lose.
I think that one that they could have had as well.
That's a credible loss.
LSU's a little bit better program. Man, come on, man. They got
a little bit better, but right now. I mean, they're not as. I haven't been believing the hype all year.
Okay, I agree with you. Me and you were both on the same page. We weren't buying into LSU, but we got to admit their roster's 10 times better than Arkansas's.
Yeah.
All right, so then they lose to A&M by 12 points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They lose to Ole Miss by 7. They lose to Bama by 3. They lose to Mississippi State by 4 points, 7-3. To me,
that's where it gets.
That's the unforgivable one, really.
Yeah.
Then they go into the swamp and beat Florida.
Yeah.
So you're telling me out of all these games, most of these are close losses. There's 2 that they dropped that they shouldn't have. BYU and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
That's fireable in Arkansas? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The one you're about to say and the one you just said.
The one I'm about to say, I'm just gonna gloss over that one because y'all beat the ever-loving fuck out of them.
That one nobody saw that. I mean that win over Florida in the swamp. That's what got them to be a 2-point favorite over Auburn. I was like, I know what Auburn is. Don't get me wrong. We're a 6-win team, but I still thought the wrong team was favored in that one. Like Auburn, they could play that one on Mars, and I thought Auburn was still. I don't know. But anyway, that one and the Mississippi State game is where it kind of started to.
But even that, like you didn't get blown out. It was 7-3. If anything, it was just great defense.
It just you could hear the tune starting to change a little bit.
They're going to end this season with 5 wins, right? They're going to beat Florida Atlantic next week, and then they'll lose to Missouri at the end of the year. I still don't think that's a terrible year for Arkansas.
I don't either.
You put them in the worst conference that you could possibly put them in. You put them in the Big 10 or Big 12, 2 games they might drop. That's it.
Arkansas is like the equivalent of, I don't know, a South Carolina or Kentucky of the. Now, Arkansas. Go ahead, Austin.
I was going to say, if they don't win the next 2 games, they won't have. They only have 4 wins.
That's what I'm saying. They'll end the season with 5 wins. They'll beat Florida Atlantic. They'll lose to Missouri.
Okay.
They've got 3 now.
Well, they're 3-7 right now. So.
Really? I just counted them. I thought they had 4 already. Okay, you might be right.
Yeah.
Math's not my strong suit, Hoss. Don't call me out.
Well, I'm just saying. It's not a good record either way.
No, it's not. But hear me out, though. Like, we're talking about them losing to Bama, LSU, Ole Miss. Those 3 right there. Y'all realize Arkansas finished last year's recruiting at 28th. Like, he's bringing the recruiting up, but he's still not even sniffing the other teams. Hell, Mississippi State finished 26.
Yeah.
So all these teams he's losing to are having better recruiting, but like some of them are far beyond what he's doing, and he's keeping the games close.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's holding him back. KJ Jefferson being there for 9 years.
Yeah.
He's not as good as he – sometimes, like, people love longevity. A year longer does not always mean a year better.
Well, the thing with KJ is the same thing I'm saying here. Like, they don't have 5-star quarterbacks, right, on that roster. What he does have, he doesn't have a great quarterback or even a good quarterback in KJ, but he's got a guy that he can trust with his system. That's all he needs.
Yeah.
So he's riding that out as long as he can until he can figure out somebody else to get in the damn transfer portal.
I think all teams are a good quarterback, dynamic quarterback away from being a great team. If you put, I don't know, put Milroe in at quarterback at Arkansas, you're talking instead of trying to get their 4th win of the year, they might be going for their 7th or 8th.
That's what I was going to say was 7. I still think they dropped to maybe Bama, maybe an Ole Miss.
A quarterback's worth like 4 wins on the year alone.
But Arkansas's already went from 26 to 22 this year in recruiting. Like he's steadily bringing them up. They just passed Ole Miss. Like he's trying his hardest to get there. That's why I think this fire might be one of the dumbest things Arkansas can do.
He's setting the next coach up for success if they fire him.
Mm-hmm. And then that guy will look like a genius while Pittman's trying to find a job.
Arkansas has always been this. I've been watching football a minute. They always that bowl eligible type team. Some years worse, some years right there, and then they'll have this weird year where they got a good quarterback, and they're way better than anybody thought they would. Hell, they even won the West a couple of times since they joined in '92. But other than that, I mean, there's not anything there to talk about with Arkansas. They are who they are. They need to know that.
Yeah.
Hang on to Pittman.
I hate to break it to KJ Jefferson. Staying next year is not going to help his draft stock because there's a possibility next year you're still going to have Jalen, Carson, who else? Brady Cook, Jackson Dart. All these players might stay another year. And if that's the case, then he's still bottom of the barrel.
So you think he just needs to go and get what he can get, I guess.
I think if Pittman leaves, yeah, you might want to go because the next coach ain't gonna keep you around because it's gonna be his system.
Yeah,
he's been playing since before COVID. It's time for this guy to move on. I don't think football's his thing. He needs to go start selling insurance somewhere.
Oh man!
Come on, man.
Well, I think if say worst case scenario, if they were to lose this week against FIU, that would
then you gotta let
that pretty much seal the deal
because that means his team's now quit on him.
He's lost control of this team. I'm just gonna tell you, when Auburn beats you 48-10, hell, I don't even know if we're gonna beat New Mexico State that bad this week. So I'm just telling you, he's lost control of that team. So you could see some funky shit going on with Arkansas.
Well, Crandus, you got a list of some games for this week?
I will pull it up here in just a second.
While he's pulling that up, Hoss, is there anything from last week that surprised you? Like we had, y'all steamrolled Kentucky. We steamrolled Ole Miss. You had Michigan, Penn State. Anything that you're like, shit, I didn't see that happening?
Well, I really thought Ole Miss might be able to score a little bit more than they did. But some of their same problems they've been having this season, and a lot of it comes down to his game plans, just taking risks that he shouldn't take, that's ends up being positive for the opposite team. I mean, I thought maybe he would have a little bit better plan together than that. But
you know what I thought you were going to say?
What's that?
Because it surprised me. I get it's a rivalry. I didn't think Miami was going to keep it that close to Florida State.
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking, the TCU, they very close to beating Texas, and that would have been one less that we were having to talk about possibly being in the playoff had that happened. But
yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that if you're, for Bama fans, I mean, that Oklahoma rematch, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be Boomer Sooner pretty hard on that game, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know at least one of the people in our show that's not here tonight was definitely not expecting that game to go the way it did, the Missouri-Tennessee.
No, look, man, me and you both try to tell them, hey, Missouri's a damn good team. I didn't think it'd be like that. Like, it just seemed, and I talked to him about this on the phone. It seemed like Tennessee's offense just like hit a wall and couldn't do shit. And I'm going to speak for him here from what he said. He's done with the fucking Milton experiment. He's ready to move on to Nico and see what happens.
Well, that was one thing I was going to bring up, and not to trash on Carter or anything, but I don't think I've seen a QB this year other than Milton who talks more trash when his team is trailing than he does, because you can see it, the other teams mouthing off. Now, granted, I know, you can't expect him to not say anything, but it just seems like he's grinning, like saying stuff with a smile. And I'm like, how are you going to do that when you're losing the game?
I don't know. The only trash talking I saw was after the game. Did you see what Eli Drinkwitz said to Josh Heupel?
No, I saw that. Not much of an attempt at a handshake, though. I did see
during the handshake. He was mic'd up. During the handshake, he walked over and said, "We stand on our business, Josh." Gave him a handshake and walked away. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Ooh.
So Missouri's trying to make some kind of rivalry here with Tennessee.
Well, I did hear his comment where he was saying when he was getting interviewed post game, where he said, "Yeah, we kicked their ass." That's basically what he said.
Well, I mean, look, this ain't even the thing at Tennessee. I mean, I'm standing by this firm and strong. You got LSU, Ole Miss. Missouri's the third best team in the SEC. I don't care if you pick East or West. I think they, a rematch with LSU, they'd get them. If they were to play Ole Miss tomorrow, I've seen my team play both back to back. I don't want to see Missouri again.
They're not
playing Ole Miss every fucking week.
Let me ask you guys this. If I were to tell you, this is not a setup here, I'm going to go down through these games of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like you guys have been doing for a while, doing the whole who's the favorite, what's the line. I'm going to surprise you here. If I told Louisville travels to Miami this week, Saturday at 11 a.m. Central to be specific. Who you got and who's the favorite?
Louisville travels to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Miami's the favorite, and that's also my pick. I think Miami found what they needed to beat these teams. Not great teams, but beat teams that they're ahead of.
I just want you to know that Miami has made it clear that Van Dyke is their starter.
Okay, I take everything I said back. I'm still going to roll with Miami just because I don't believe in Louisville either. Let me make that perfectly clear. They are
9-1, but I mean,
yeah, but what have they done this year, Hoss? They're one of those teams.
Some might say that about Georgia, but
I mean, we ranked teams. That's way more than Louisville's ever done. I've seen Louisville fans all over social media beating their chest over nothing. I think Miami can catch them. I think maybe they'll ride the momentum of a close game against a way better team than Louisville and Florida State. I could be 100% wrong, and I'm okay with that as well.
So Trenches is going Louisville, but says Miami's the favorite. Hoss, what do you say?
I'm going.
No, he said Miami.
Oh, he's going Miami.
Yeah, I'll stick with him.
I'm going Louisville. But I mean, typically the home team gets a little bit of a nod when they're thinking, who has an advantage there. But I just don't see Miami's being a place that's tough to play at.
You're saying Louisville plays in front of bigger crowds at home than Miami playing at Miami will be.
Yeah. And we've even got a Miami fan that would, probably co-sign that and say that, people don't really show up.
Who you got as a favorite?
Who do I think is favorite? I said I would say probably Miami just because it's a home game.
Wow. Okay. Well, you guys are way smarter than I am. I thought for sure Louisville would be the favorite. They are not. Miami is a 1.5 point favorite.
Well, Crane, I'm looking at the schedule right now. How many ranked wins do you think Louisville has going into this game?
I get it. But
but take a guess here.
You got a 9-1 team versus a 6-5-4 team.
Also, you want to take a guess? How many ranked wins does Louisville have this season?
I'm gonna say
they beat Duke. That's it.
Duke wasn't ranked when they played.
Notre Dame
they weren't. I thought they were.
Notre Dame's, I think, the only one.
That's it. And we all know Notre Dame ain't shit. I mean, they have proven to fall off hard this year.
Yeah.
I hate to tell them, but I don't know if Miami shit either.
I don't think they are. I just think Miami could ride the momentum of having a close game with a better opponent than Louisville.
Right.
Trying to see, who did Louisville lose to this year?
Hell, it may have been Duke.
No, they beat Duke.
No, they beat Duke. It was Pitt. Yep.
Pitt beat them 38-21.
Ugh. All right.
I'm looking here. I'm looking on this schedule. They're another one of those teams, kind of like Ole Miss. They don't travel well at all. All these close games they had, including that loss to Pitt, was all on the road.
All right, here you go, guys. Here's you a toughie. The Utah Utes, the hard luck kids. They've lost some close games this year, including last week in a squeaker to Washington, if you want to call it that. They travel to the upstart Arizona Wildcats. I need your winner and who you think the favorite in that game is. We'll start with you, Twintes.
I'm going to say the favorite. I'm going to say the favorite. They probably put Arizona. I'm going to go against that line, though, and take Utah in this game. I think Utah's got a great defense.
Good picks.
I'm going to pick Arizona, but I would say maybe Utah might be the favorite.
All right, vice versa. I like it.
You guys are polar opposites. Arizona is a 1 point favorite.
Oh, wow.
It's
pretty tight there, yeah.
Utah's lost some close games, and Arizona, I was on the Arizona train. I still kind of am, but that game last week against Colorado was a little too close for comfort for me.
And you said it's at Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you take away the 3 points for the home field advantage. Technically, it is Utah, but since it's at home, the 1 point goes to Utah, Arizona.
Yeah.
That'll be that. That's a great matchup. That's a great TV game.
Yeah.
That's one for us where we can just sit back and just like catch the final 8 minutes of that game, and it could be like one of those 38-35 games. Great for us to watch. We don't got a dog in the fight, and just have a good time watching it. And we can talk about it later and say, "Damn, did you catch the ending of that Utah-Arizona game?"
I still don't think that's the game of the week yet, man. I think there's a game that's going to be way funner to watch.
I think I know the one you're talking about, and here it is right here. Guys, North Texas travels
That
to
was not
Tulsa.
it.
All right, let's see here. They're scouring through. What you guys think about North Carolina going to Clemson?
I think it's a blowout. I think Clemson's favored, and I think they beat the hell out. Drake May has fallen off so damn hard.
Yeah, Clemson is kind of rising in North Carolina. They're passing each other. I did that
think
wrong.
North Carolina gets the win.
You think so?
Mhm.
I
Who
mean,
you
I don't
think
believe in
favorite?
Clemson either. I agree with you on that one. I don't know, man. Each week it looks like North Carolina's getting worse.
If
Yeah.
if you guys can nail the favorite, we'll call it win Cranges cash.
Okay.
If you can, and I need it quick here. Who's the
Clemson.
favorite?
And that game
And
probably
by how much?
Clemson because it's at home for them.
Yeah.
I need the exact amount.
Oh, Clemson 9-point favorite.
Clemson probably by about 7, I would think.
Woo! Hoss close as can be. Clemson is a 6.5-point favorite.
Oh,
Good job.
Woo! Mm. Here's another good TV game. Don't really have a meaning on the national title picture or playoff picture at all, but UCLA and USC. Sneaky good game. Could have a good finish.
Where's it at? USC?
At USC.
I think Trojans will be favored, and I think Trojans get the win.
I'm definitely picking USC, but as far as who's the favorite is, yeah.
They're definitely going to give the nod to USC in this one. Kind of surprising, actually. UCLA, have they fell on hard times recently?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what this line's telling me because I never would imagine USC would be a 6.5-point favorite. Wow, we have a commenter.
Boast.
He meant host.
Boast.
Yeah, he's boasting tonight.
We're in a different segment.
He's
Maddie.
a boastful host.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, we're in a segment here, Maddie. Don't throw a wrinkle in it.
Yeah, he's telling us the games.
Yeah, we're just a special segment.
Yeah.
Oregon at Arizona State. Anybody?
Oregon wins. Oregon's favored.
I would think
upsets.
Oregon wins, but
I'm gonna say favored by 12. What do you think, Alice?
You said Oregon favored by 12?
Yeah.
I'd say Oregon probably 6.
6.
Ooh. Well, guys, double up Trench's number. Oregon by 24.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think y'all are thinking about Oregon State, not Arizona. Arizona State's kind of
Arizona State, yeah. You like their logo, don't you, Trenches?
The Sun Devils?
Or am I thinking a different team?
You're thinking of San Diego State University. Texas. Yeah, that shit's cool.
In there, yeah.
Most Indian logos I'm a fan of.
Here's your game of the week. Kentucky goes to South Carolina.
That is a fucking good game. That's not the game of the week, but God, that's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say South Carolina wins the game is my pick. I just don't know who's favored.
I think Kentucky wins, but
I think
at South Carolina, I don't know. They probably are the favorite. South Carolina.
I'm gonna go. South Carolina favored by like 3.
Well, I love you guys, but you're wrong. Kentucky is a 1-point favorite on the road as they travel to South Carolina, which tells you a lot. You can read a lot into that line. South Carolina is fucking bad because Kentucky Trenches are. I can't remember who said we say a lot of shit a lot of times, but South Carolina has really they're a big turd, and Kentucky was a turd in disguise, just like they are every year.
Yeah.
They get off to that 4-0, 4-0, 5-0 start, and usually they play Georgia, and now I don't think they've won a fucking game since, have they?
Yeah, I think that's Carter who said that.
Yeah. So Kentucky, 1-point favorite at South Carolina. Ooh. I think this is the one Trenches has been waiting on. And here it comes. This is the upset alert for me of the week. Do we have a sound effect for that?
I don't know.
That's it. That's perfect. The old tugboat coming in. Washington
That's the game.
on the road at Oregon State, as Lou Holtz would say.
Mm-hmm.
Washington's going fucking down this week. And I'm willing to even bet that fucking Oregon State's probably favored at home by at least 2 points. I'm going to go Oregon State wins and favored.
I don't know. I think Washington stays perfect after this weekend.
Okay. You think they're favored?
I know I'll still probably give the edge to the home team, but probably not more than 5, maybe.
I'm going 5. I'm going to take 2.
So you guys are saying Oregon State's the favorite?
Mm-hmm.
You guys would be correct. Wow. It tells you what to me that screams that everybody's feeling the same, or a lot of people are feeling the same way that I do. Like Washington, they've been flirting with it ever since they beat Oregon. They've been flirting with it every week since. I think every game they played, they've had to like win it late. Oregon State is a 2.5-point favorite over undefeated. What, number 4 team in the country?
No, 5.
Number 5. I mean, that tells you people are not really buying into Washington.
Well, let's be honest. Washington's on borrowed time. They're either going to lose here or they're going to lose to Oregon. They're fool's gold.
Yeah.
So you don't think that their QB is still one of the Heisman front runners?
Honestly, if we're going to go Heisman right now, Hoss, I think when that game happens, I think Bo probably moves to number 1 in the Heisman. Just based on resumes for this year. I mean, it's a very weak Heisman class, let's be honest. I think he might have the best numbers to win it all.
You're making Maddie upset because Maddie's still mad at Bo Nix over some shit he did 4 years ago at Auburn.
I mean, he took the Stetson Bennett route. It took him 10 years to finally get there, but hey, he's there.
Yeah. Stetson Bennett couldn't win that Heisman, though.
He was sitting in New York, though. He had a comfortable seat.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't get Heisman winners. So if we get one person sitting in New York, I'm happy. That's all we get.
Just let it go, Maddie. Let it go.
Jaden Daniels ain't winning it because he's going to have, 3, maybe 4 losses in the season.
Yeah.
They put a lot of stock into what the team does.
All right, so guys, really it's been too good to be true so far, right? Week 11 usually sucks balls. So we've gotten some good ones so far, and I'm not saying it was full, but we're kind of wrapping it up here and coming to the end of the good games of the week. And your last one might be one of the worst picks of the week, but it's a good helmet game. It's a good game for us regionally. Georgia travels to Neyland. Now, I think Carter should do a revision on this. I think if anybody's willing to take Tennessee on this, I think it ought to be worth about 4 or 5 points. Now, listen, let me just say, Georgia might be a little flat. Georgia just had arguably their biggest game of the year at home at night. You might see the hangover effect. You could see Georgia come out a little sloppy. You see this time after time. I mean, Washington's still celebrating their win over Oregon, and that was a month ago. So I'm not saying Georgia's down there at that level. I'm just saying Georgia had a good time last Saturday night. They beat the fuck out of Ole Miss. This game here, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me to see Georgia a little. I'm not calling for an upset.
I think that Missouri loss is probably taking a lot of the wind out of the sails of the Tennessee team. So them getting up for this game is not going to be what it would have been had they. Let's just say they kept it close with Missouri.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not going to say the spread because I already know it.
So yeah, Trenches is disqualified from this. He's like
Georgia, I'm sure is highly favored.
It's not as high as you think. I'll give you that hint.
It's
probably 10 at least.
Almost nailed it.
Well, according to Bovada, which is the website that I'm using right here, Haas nailed it to the.
Oh wow! See, it was 10.5, so it's coming down.
Huh. Well, you know, they all vary. Oh, yeah. They all got their own lines, but this one right here is exactly 10. Okay. Haas, can you name the over/under on it? Just kidding. Just kidding.
I would think over 10, but
well, yeah, it'd definitely be over 10. Would surprise me to see. I just can't, guys. I can't see a way Tennessee wins this game. And Georgia goes out and has 8 turnovers or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The thing for Georgia that as a Georgia fan that gives us relief is this is last week was the first time we've had everybody healthy at once. Coming into last week, we never had Ladd and Brock on the same field. Kendall's finally healthy. We finally get our right tackle back. It's nice to see them finally be able to play. And then when we saw them all play together, we saw what they did to Ole Miss. And I'm not saying we do that to everybody because y'all know how I feel. I don't think we are that it team this year. But I think, this kind of game definitely favors Georgia.
That the speed at which Georgia's been scoring on teams as well. It's another thing that doesn't bode well for Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, here's the good news for Tennessee. They got a really good run defense. So if you can make us one-dimensional, then it is going to be a little bit funner to watch.
I think that's why if Carter was here, I'd say this. Poor Tennessee. They're like the hopeless romantics of college football. They buy in, man. They buy in.
But this would be some Tennessee shit if they did win. Like they get that one good win of the season. This would be the ultimate Tennessee. It doesn't really hurt us in the long run because it's still in our hands. If we beat Bama, then it's like, all right, we got to debate on who can go. But Tennessee wants that one win of the season, and this could be it.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
God, that'd be a rough walk back to the car.
Boy, the impossible happens in college football, so never say never, I guess. But
say if they keep it close with you and still lose, would that still bother you if they kept it close with you? I'm talking about like a field goal or
if we lost,
maybe an extra point.
No, if you barely won.
I'm saying if you barely won.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, Haas. I told Carter flat out, if we lose to Tennessee, fine. But as long as we can win the SEC and get in the playoffs, I don't give a shit. This game means something as far as the perfect season, but it really doesn't mean shit as far as where we're going. Yes, we're going to win this game. Yes, we need to win this game for fun. But let's be honest, we can still – it's just same with y'all in Texas. We still control our destiny no matter what happens in this game. You disagree?
I just I don't know.
There you go.
It's hard to find something nice to say about Mr. Visor.
Hey, Steve Spurrier don't play no more.
No, he's been replaced by Mr. Bocut.
Bet your ass. I'm gonna stop at the bookstore. I'm getting me a visor this weekend just to fuck with you. I ain't got no hair to go over it, but I'm gonna have fun with it.
All right, go
ahead. No, I mean, this could be like I said, the only thing that worries me about this game is that would be the total Tennessee move, right? To get that one big season
win. And also, like a week after everything was riding on the line, and it's now, this is kind of a moot point. Mm-hmm. Last week, I didn't even realize it. I didn't realize it that Tennessee still had a lot in front of them.
Yeah, if they would have won that game and we'd have lost to Ole Miss, this game, Saturday would have been for the East.
I just assumed it was over a month ago that it was Georgia's to have, and damn, yeah. I think that's. I didn't realize that Carter was kind of down and out. I guess we didn't hear from him for hours until after that game. They picked a bad spot to lay an egg. I'll say that.
Well, I don't know if it's a bad spot, but I think they picked a bad spot for a tough fucking team. Like I said, as a Georgia fan, I don't want to see Missouri again. Good God, that running back is fucking for real.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think not digging on fans, but I'm saying I think the Tennessee team underestimated it.
Yeah.
I believe Crimson Brave was calling you a bitch there, Trenches.
Georgia going to win out, and Bama will knock Georgia out of playoffs. They might. Roll Tide, bitches. Well, there's an S there, so I'm thinking he's looking at you too, Cranges.
Nah, I thought it said Trenches.
No, it says bitches.
My bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see Neyland for the first time.
Yeah.
So happy for you.
It's a good stadium to go visit.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to 4 different college stadiums.
It's a lot easier to visit when your team's on top, but
yeah, but it's one of those once that one's done, the main one. There's 2 more I want to see in person for sure. I want to see Jordan Hare in person, and I want to see Death Valley in person.
I still say it's Bryant Denny North, though. I know Tennessee fans are going to challenge that after last year, but
is Maddie Saban really trying to do this whole focus on Chattanooga? Oh my God! Facepalm emoji. Oh God! Alabama could start their 10th string in that game.
Yeah, Alabama needs to be worried about the Iron Bowl, just like Georgia needs to focus on Tennessee. Like this whole, hey, let's put out the line for the SEC championship. Let's talk SEC championship. There's more games to be played. Chattanooga is not a fucking game. Let's be honest. Y'all will steamroll them, but that Auburn game is always fun to watch, and Georgia's got to get through Tennessee.
No injuries against the chat, he says. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. That might be the biggest thing Alabama's playing this week is to not get injuries. That's the scariest part about these fucking cupcake games. And Georgia's been dealing with it all season because that front part of the season was very easy, but there was a lot of injuries going into those games. Did y'all forget about the USF game?
Maddie, come on.
Fucking totally different. Come on, Maddie.
They started what?
You worry too much.
Tyler Buckner or whatever. Oh, Maddie. I remember a year ago before the Ole Miss game or whatever it was, 2 years ago. Oh, my God, I'm so nervous about this game. We're like, shut up. You're going to win this game by 40. And, of course, Bama goes out and wins by 40.
Yeah, but I remember you gave me shit for worried about Missouri, and I was like, I'm telling you, Missouri's a good team, and look what happened.
Y'all killed them.
We beat them by 6 in the final minute.
9. You beat them by 9.
Whatever. That's still not enough. It's not double digits.
I mean,
y'all should have lost too.
Well, I ain't going that far, Hoss. You pump your brakes.
I knew Missouri. I know where Missouri is. They're all right. They're good.
They're the best team in the SEC.
Yeah, you can make an argument for that. Yeah. Yeah. But there's third sounds great and all, but there's a big difference. There's a big drop off after
from 2 to 3. It's huge. Yeah. But from where Missouri usually is to go into 3 is very impressive.
Yeah. No argument there. But it's a flimsy 3 to me. Well, not flimsy is a bad word. I'm just trying to stall just to see what Maddie's gonna say. That's really
3.
If Ty Simpson has to replace Milroe again, I feel way more comfortable with him out there than I would have weeks ago. Tyler Buckner's just unplayable. I'm praying nobody gets hurt for Bama and Georgia. Like, we want to see the best of the best.
Oh, yeah. Please let them meet up. Everybody's healthy.
Yeah. I attribute offensive line seemingly being a more coercive. God, use fucking regular English, Maddie. Unit allowing for Simpson to have more time to throw. Yeah, the O-line is playing great. And Crandis drinks raw syrup. Who doesn't?
Pretty good to me.
We
If you had a
we
coach.
definitely don't want your Barney 5 QB to get hurt.
Well, hang on now. We'll pause. I said I don't want to see injuries. We know how you feel about Georgia players getting hurt. You're all cool.
No, I said we don't want to see that.
I'm keeping the Milrow out of this game. Let him rest, get him ready for the Iron Bowl. Actually, I kind of agree with you, Crimson. I wouldn't even play him. Y'all don't need him to be Chattanooga. That O-line,
he's that important to that team. Alabama's still stacked, but you take Milrow out,
alone, you'll be fine.
It changes everything. We've done seen it.
I think, look, I mean, I know, Hoss, you know all your players on Bama, just like I know all mine on Georgia. But on the outside looking in, there's 3 players you can't afford to lose if you're a Bama fan. And I think, in my mind, from what I've seen, it's Dallas, Jalen, and Kool-Aid. Because those 3, that seems like every week have highlights. They're playing lights out.
Well, Kool-Aid's had some mistakes though that's been pretty big this season. So I know some people. I know some people who fuss about it, but I mean, hey.
But that's not what
things like that are happening. But yeah, I'd say he's pretty consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Consistently good over being.
Burton too. The muff punt thing, Malachi Muse, wide receiver for Georgia. He's had 2 muff punts this year, and Georgia fans are getting all. That's not why he's there. He's there because he's speedy. His job is to catch wide receiving routes. So when he muffs a punt, I'm not that upset about it. It happens.
Yeah, we just don't want it to happen against Georgia.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
And none of that cheating line shifting you're doing either.
Hey, that's just legal.
You get dumb enough to jump. Well, it shouldn't be. You should get flagged every time you do.
Here's my question, though, Hoss. Here's my question. You've seen Georgia do it how many times?
Every time.
All right, hang on a second. How many times have you seen Georgia do it a game?
More than they should.
More than they should. Okay, so you're thinking at least 6, right?
I'd say at least 2 to 3.
Okay, and we'd be going into 13 weeks. You've seen Georgia do this. If your O-line is dumb enough to jump, that's on them. You should know what they're about to do. It's kind of like watching Auburn, what's your other quarterback?
Damn, he just drugged me right into it.
What's your other quarterback, though, Crandis? You'll see why.
I was having a good time laughing at you guys fuss.
What's the quarterback's name, though, Crandis?
Peyton Thorne.
No, the other one.
Robbie Ashford.
All right. You see Robbie coming in, you know he's running. Like, you should kind of predict that stuff by then.
You never know. He might drop back and throw that bomb.
Enjoy your timeout, CB.
Timeout or banned?
No, I just know. Oh, he was banned. God, why does he keep doing that?
Oh, man.
Hang on a second.
Well, you've joined the club with me.
No, I can't put user timeout. He shouldn't be banned.
Okay.
No, it says Crimson Brave was banned and their comments were removed.
I'm gonna stop timing people out.
Yeah. We got to practice on our timeouts.
You know what, CB? I'll take that L. That's on me.
You now are in the club that I'm in. I was banned from this channel.
He wishes he could ban me after calling him out on that line shift stuff.
No, I'm just saying. Look, I mean, even
type a comment in there, Hoss. See what happens.
Even Ole Miss was like, fans were complaining about the shift. I'm like, do we do it every game? Like, how are y'all not picking up on this?
It is funny that, like, I love that.
I mean, if you're that good, should you really be doing tactics like that? I mean, if y'all
why not?
So good.
Here's why. Here's what it does, and it's great. It's not about getting them to jump off sides. When you shift like that, you start to see where that wide receiver, because he's already thinking the play's starting. So now you're seeing where the route's about to go as far as like pulling a man to the other side. And boom, you've already got an edge up on the guy right before he even hits the line. I mean, that's huge. Y'all probably should input it instead of complaining about it.
It's so funny.
It makes y'all look scared to me. I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see who's scared after December 2nd.
I remember watching the Georgia Ole Miss game, and they was going to a commercial, and they were, like they
Okay.
love to do. They show a slow mo replay. Go
See
ahead.
Crimson's? That's what it says on
Oh.
StreamYard. I was just timed out. Okay, cool.
Okay, all right. So yeah, we don't ban people over here.
Well, one person.
Yeah. As they're going to commercial, Kirk and Chris Fowler are talking, and they're showing the slow mo replay of a big replay. And the first thing they showed that I seen was Georgia's defensive line doing the jump shift.
Mm-hmm.
All four of them at one time just did a simultaneous jump over to the side, and of course they go right through the lane and just sack the guy, just blow the play all the fuck up. It's so funny. I thought about Haas because he's always ripping on Georgia for doing that perfectly timed just jump shift, whatever you call it.
Defensively genius. Oh, Crimson got banned again.
Just like Clemson when they got us that pick play.
What was the pick play? I don't remember.
It's in that national championship game.
Oh, you talking about in the red zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is illegal. I've come to the theory that if Georgia goes out and beats Bama by at least 3 touchdowns, we're still going to hear some complaints here on refs. Something's going to happen.
Well, y'all do have a little bit of that home cooking when y'all are
home. It's in Atlanta. What are you talking about?
That's close enough.
I'm focused on the
Bama
Birmingham
fans don't
Bowl.
travel.
I'm focused on the Birmingham Bowl. You guys can argue about national titles all you want. I'm focused on.
Bama's going to travel for this one for sure.
So there you go. So it's not a home field advantage then.
We'll just hope they keep it honest.
Okay. I'm sure they won't in your eyes. Even if y'all win, I'll hear about it.
I can't wait for that game.
We got 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Get through Tennessee.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
You gotta get this loss to Tennessee out of the way first. So.
It could happen. I'm not even gonna argue with you. It could happen. That is some Tennessee shit. Just like when Auburn beat y'all. It happens.
I got you.
Focused on the Birmingham Bowl. We're coming to take over Protective Stadium. Protective Life Stadium is ours.
I hope y'all play in the Gator Bowl and you got to drive down here to watch the game. That's my hope.
Man, we'll probably give us any Big Ten team and we'll get our ass waxed.
You don't think Auburn can beat Penn State right now? Because you're Mr. I don't believe in Penn State at all.
I think y'all can beat Penn State.
I do too.
I don't on the big stage. I mean, yes, Auburn's on a 3-game win streak, but you got to look at who those 3 opponents were. Is what who wouldn't be? There's not many teams that wouldn't be on a 3-win streak when their last 3 opponents were Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and Arkansas. You'll see Auburn kind of go back to what we've seen them be all year. When they play Alabama, they won't be able to move the ball and a lot of punting.
Sounds good to me.
Now in a couple of years, we need a little more. We ain't got the horses yet, Hoss. We're not there yet.
I'm just wondering this year though if Freeze will pull one of those Ole Miss game plans out of the back pocket and say, "Well, it worked before. Let's see if it'll work again."
Here it is. Here's my card. Remember this? I don't think we'll be in that situation to be able to pull the card. We're gonna have to. We'll see you guys in a couple of years. We're down there with South Carolina and Vandy right now. Yeah, we're right there, maybe a little above Arkansas. Or
Hoss, where would you rank Auburn right now in the West?
Where?
Yeah, this year.
Probably, I don't know, 3rd, 4th.
I'd say no better than 4th and no worse than 5th. Okay, we're better than Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
and Mississippi State. But after that, I mean, we're not better than LSU. We've done showed that.
Your defense is.
I mean, they beat the fuck out of us. LSU made us look like two monkeys fucking a football. Bama, okay. Even if we beat Bama, look, I'm willing to admit that's just one of those fluke home field things. We're not better than Bama from top to bottom. I mean, you guys know that. It would have to be one of those weird, wacky games that we've seen happen once a decade. Who else am I missing? Ole Miss, they beat us, so we know we're not better than them. 4th or 5th.
Pulling the Gus Malzahn, the field got watered. I don't know how this happened. We didn't have it set up.
Yeah. A&M beat us. Thank you, Maddie. Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss.
Y'all see Maddie's number 6?
Yeah, Maddie kind of skipped a little bit there. But yeah.
The cowbell clankers.
Pencil us in at number 4. We got 4 on lockdown, baby. Wow, we made over an hour with this.
Yeah.
We didn't have that weight dragging us down this week. We didn't have Carter. We didn't have to pull Carter along, and
he's had a busy week, so it's understandable.
Yeah. We love you, Carter. Hang in there, bud.
It's a good banter back and forth. So
yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. All right, cool. See you guys.
Y'all later.
There it is. I was waiting for Corinne just to get it in there.
I had to do it for Carter.
Somebody's got to pull it off.
What did he say?
He said, "Cover on."
Cover on.
Here's the thing, Hoss. I'm cool to end it, but we have to end it with Carter being here, not saying it. If we would have ended it without Crane just saying it, it would have just been cheap.
Yeah. I got you.
That was for you, Carter. Wherever you're at out there, I'm sure you're sweating your balls off somewhere right now, or in a tree. Hoss just paid tribute to him, man. We're thinking of you, Carter. Be good up there, buddy, wherever you're at, and hold it down. We're thinking about you.
At once. I do
it.
As
long as we meet in the middle.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.